Welcome. Trauma is my jam, and by that I mean I help you understand what your body is doing. Let's make sense of it together.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to this episode of From Trauma to Triumph. Now, have you ever looked at your life and thought, I'm functioning, but something feels off? You go to work, you answer your messages, you get through the day, and from the outside, everything looks fine, but inside, you feel a little numb, or disconnected, or flat. You are not falling apart, my friend, but you're also not really fully living. And if this resonates with you, there is a good chance you are experiencing something called functional freeze. And since trauma is my jam, let me help you understand what the body is doing. Most people think trauma responses only look like panic, anxiety, or emotionally overwhelmed. But there is another very common nervous system state that often gets missed: the freeze. In trauma science, freeze is the part of the autonomic nervous system survival response, along with fight, flight, or freeze. Freeze happens when the body perceives threat but cannot fight or escape. So inside, the nervous system shifts into conversion mode. Energy drops, emotions dull, the system slows down. This is not weakness. This is biology. And your nervous system is trying to protect you from being overwhelmed. Here's where functional freeze is different. Some people collapse completely when they freeze. Others continue functioning. They go to work, they take care of their responsibilities, they show up for life. But internally, their system is operating in a low energy survival state. That is what I mean when I talk about functional freeze. You are moving through life, but your nervous system is still protecting you. Now, people in functional freeze often describe things like feeling emotionally numb, difficulty feeling joy or excitement, low motivation or fatigue, feeling disconnected from themselves or others, and going through the motions of life. You may hear people say stuff like, I just feel blah, or I'm tired all the time, or I don't feel like me. But nothing seems dramatically wrong on the outside, so it can be confusing because you are technically coping, but you're not truly thriving. Now, let me give you an example. Imagine someone who grew up in a home where conflict felt unsafe. As a child, their nervous system learned that shutting down was the safest option, so their body adapted. Now, as an adult, they may look very responsible and high functioning. Again, they go to work, they pay their bills, they handle life. But inside, their system has learned to stay slightly numb and disconnected because feeling fully could once have been overwhelming or unsafe. So the nervous system keeps things muted, not because you're broken, but because your body learned a survival strategy. Now, when people are in functional freeze, they often think something is wrong with them, or they think they're lazy, or they're unmotivated, or they're depressed. But many times what is actually happening is the nervous system is in protection mode. Your body is conserving energy because it still perceives some level of threat or overwhelm. And healing does not come from forcing productivity or judging yourself. Healing comes from slowly helping your nervous system rediscover safety and how to allow itself to be fully alive again. All right, let's look at what functional freeze might look like in everyday life. So imagine it's Saturday. You don't have to work. You finally have free time. And you tell yourself you're going to clean the house or start that project or go for a walk or call a friend. But instead, you find yourself sitting on the couch scrolling on your phone. Hours go by, and you're not really enjoying what you're doing. But you also can't seem to get yourself to start anything else. You might think, why can't I just get up? What's wrong with me? But this isn't laziness. This is functional freeze. Your nervous system is conserving energy and staying in a protective state where action feels heavy and motivation feels low. The key is to not force yourself into productivity. The key is to gently helping your nervous system shift states. So one simple way to do this is through a small sensory activation. So what you can do is you can try rubbing your hands together slowly. And what you're going to do is you're going to notice the warmth building between your palms, right? Then you may place your hands anywhere on your body that feels safe and take a slow breath in and a longer breath out. And then you're going to gently bring some movement into your body, your shoulders, your neck. Stretch out those muscles. Again, you're not trying to force yourself into a completely different state. You're simply giving your nervous system a signal of movement and safety. Often when we come out of freeze, it happens in small steps. First, the body warms up, then the breath deepens, and then motivation begins to return. Healing the nervous system is not about pushing harder. It's about learning how to gently invite the body back into life. Now, the whole purpose and intent of this is to help your body shift its awareness, right? So temperature was a part of that, right? As you are rubbing your hands together, there is warmth that's developing there, right? So if rubbing your hands together doesn't feel safe, sit with a hot beverage or run your hands under warm water, right? Again, that's about bringing that temperature change into your body. It's about being present in the moment. And then invite some movement. So you can be sitting with your tea, holding onto your cup, and you can straighten your back, drop your shoulders, release your tension in your jaw if your jaw is clenched. You can start stretching out your arms. You can stretch your legs. This is not about inviting big shifts. You're not trying to force something emotional. You're simply just reminding your nervous system that I'm here and present in this moment and that you're safe in this moment. Over time, these small signals help the body move out of freeze and back in towards regulated engagement with life. Remember, this is about gently and lovingly introducing your nervous system and inviting it back into life, into stepping fully into life without having to have that emotional blockage, I guess. That's how I would describe it. Without having to have that veil where everything is just sort of... If you find yourself in functional freeze or notice that this is something that you experience, because I gotta tell you, I find myself in functional freeze probably a couple times a week. But I recognize it when it's happening. The worst thing you can do is shame yourself. Okay? This is not a characteristic or a personal flaw that you feel like you can't get up and do what you want it to do. That is not a personal flaw. This is your body overriding what you want to do in order to keep you safe and protected. The beautiful thing about the nervous system is that it can learn safety again. Slowly, gently, and at a pace that your body can trust. So, when you find yourself feeling flat, or feeling blah, or feeling like unmotivated although you want to do things, or there's things on your to-do list that you want to get done, try gently going back to the regulation tool of bringing yourself back into your body gently through temperature change and through gentle movement. Because remember, The nervous system runs on repetition and patterns. So the more that you can practice inviting safety into the body, or helping it move from functional freeze into awareness, into the present moment, back re-engaging with your body and your senses, the more you repeat that, the more your body begins to understand that that can be your new normal. And that's really what the secret to healing is. All right, friends, that is it for this video today. If you found this informative or helpful or resonated with you in any ways, please do all the things, like, share, comment. Let's spread this message as far as we possibly can. Wherever you are on your healing journey, I want you to know you are not alone. And if you want to continue learning about trauma, nervous system healing, or why your body reacts the way it does, then you are in the right place, my friend. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.